Hello, welcome to my first video. My name is Layton. Today we're going to be talking about my ranking of all the Marvel projects. Alright, first we'll start with Phase 1, which everyone should know, like Iron Man, Avengers, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk. We'll go through those. Obviously we're going to rank them, so we'll start with the number 1 spot. I have Avengers. Obviously, first Marvel movie I saw. I didn't see Iron Man when it first came out, so I saw Avengers and Iron Man. So it's a little unconventional, but I'd say it's pretty cool. I gave that a 10 out of 10. Second, I got Iron Man, obviously, 9 out of 10. Third, I got Captain America, First Avenger. I got it at 8 out of 10. Fourth, I got Thor at like 6 out of 10 because I did like it. It's just it has some flaws. I have Iron Man 2 at 5th place, 4 out of 10. Still decent, but did fall off a lot. In the last place, I haven't seen Incredible Hulk, so I just gave it the last spot, but I probably will watch it sooner. Alright. In the comments, you could say what's your favorite movie in the first phase. Awesome. Second phase. My number 1 spot, I have to go with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. It's very close with Winter Soldier, but I just like the feel, the vibe of Galaxy. I have it at 11 out of 10. And then straight into the second one, I got Winter Soldier at 10 out of 10. Winter Soldier is easily on my top 5 all-time Marvel movies because, bro, it's insane. Just the story, the action, everything's insane. But on to 3, I got Ant-Man. Ant-Man, I'd say it's good. It's good. I have it at like an 8 out of 10. It's nothing crazy. It's just a good movie. Right after that, I got Age of Ultron, second Avengers movie. It was like peak 20, like 14. So everywhere had like Ultron toys, so I did obviously see it in theaters. It was alright. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't crazy like the first one. I got Iron Man 3 in my 5th spot. This and Dark World, they can swap, but I like Iron Man 3. The posters are insane. Iron Man like falling out of the sky, bro. That's why I have it at 5th place. And then obviously Dark World at 6th, which everyone should have that there anyways. Alright, straight into phase 3. Phase 3, I got Civil War, Captain America. Obviously, I saw this when I was like probably like 10 years old, which is insane. Probably 12, 13. And I saw this at a buddy's house and it was insane. It's probably my favorite Marvel movie of all time. I have it at 10 out of 10 easily. Straight into the second one. This was during Infinity War. So obviously I have Infinity War top 2 because it's insane how it was like the first Marvel movie they actually lost after Civil War. But it was just peak theater experience, bro. Third, I got Ragnarok. I'd say Ragnarok's in my top 3 for this phase because the feeling of the movie, Taika Waititi, whatever his name is, he was an insane director for it, and he just made Thor insane in it. And then right after Ragnarok, I got Endgame. It was peak. I can't lie, it was actually peak. Like, well, Final 40. Some people say the first like hour is boring, which I don't know how, because you have to build up to the fight at the end. And right after Endgame, I'd say I got Black Panther 1. I got it at a 7 out of 10. Endgame I have at like a 9. I have it high because it was insane. It was like the final movie of the phase, and we've all grown up with it, so that's why I have it at 8 or a 9. Back to Black Panther, I'd have to say a 7 out of 10 is fair. It was kind of like a repeat of some Marvel stories, but it had a nice twist on the African American culture, which I like. And Claw is awesome, and Killmonger are awesome villains. I wish Claw was in it more if he didn't get killed off, but other than that, it's a peak movie. Fifth place, I got Doctor Strange. That one was awesome. The freaking the VFX, everything is insane. Special effects is top 5 in all Marvel. Bro, it was insane. Right after that, I got Spider-Man: Homecoming. First one with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I'd have to say it was peak. Have to say a little peak because Vulture was in like at least a top 10 Marvel villain at the time. So he bumped it up a lot for me, and I like the feel of him being Spider-Man being in high school, like actually being in high school. You see Toby's in high school for like 15 minutes in the first one. Andrew Garfield's like for like 10 in both. He graduates in the second Amazing Spider-Man. So I do like that. And straight to 7th place, I got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. For some reason, some people say it's the worst Marvel movie, which I don't know how. But obviously, I don't have it that low. But it's bottom of the barrel, I'd say, for Phase 3. Because Phase 3 had a lot of insane movies. Right into... It did have a little fall off of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd have to say that. But not as insane as people are saying. Right into the next one, I have Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was a different story they were trying to tell with how Nick Fury made the Avengers Initiative, which I did like, but it was sloppy at some points, I'd say. And then at 9, everyone should have this at their 9th spot, Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was alright. Nothing crazy. Like, Quantum Realm was cool, but they were in there for like 5 minutes. But it was alright, I'd have to say. Alright. We're already at Phase 4. If you haven't liked and subscribed, I would highly do so. This is a peak channel called Lubinsky Games at 124 HD. Everything's filmed in HD, so it should be pretty peak. Alright. Alright, into Phase 4. We got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I have that a 10 out of 10. Insane. I remember watching it in like June 2023. I remember crying in it like 2 or 3 times with Rocket, B-187, him and his other friends and the test subjects. High Evolutionary was peak villain, I can't lie. All around, it was an insane movie, I'd have to say. Right into the next one, we have another banger, Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home. I think I skipped Far From Home, but we'll go on to that right now. Far From Home is probably like a 7 out of 10. I don't really like how they left New York. That's where Spider-Man's supposed to be. But it did have a nice feeling, in France and then Germany. So it was good. It was good. But not insane. Back to Phase 4, we got No Way Home, 10 out of 10. I remember watching that December 27th of 2023. Yeah, 2023. It was insane seeing Toby and Andrew Garfield back on the big screen. It was insane. And then all the villains coming back. Green Goblin's top 3 villain in pretty much everything. I'd say not just Marvel. So that's why I have No Way Home at 2nd and 10 out of 10. 3rd, this might be controversial, but for me it's not. I'd have to say Shang-Chi is in my 3 spot over Wakanda Forever, which some people would not like. But Shang-Chi did, I'd say, have the best action fighting, like hand-to-hand combat in all of Marvel. Because Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, is an insane actor and can do a lot of hand-to-hand combats, which I haven't seen a lot in Marvel. Like, Winter Soldier had a lot, but not on this level. Right to 4, I have Wakanda Forever. I do like how they took Chadwick Boseman's death into the story, which is because the script had him being the main character. So I like how they switched that up and adapted. But it did have some flaws. Namor was a pretty good villain, I'd say, but not as high on that like Shang-Chi I am. Fifth, this might be kind of bad, but I have Black Widow in the fifth spot. Black Widow to me was like mid 2020, where that was the only thing I saw on Disney Plus at the time, and I watched it like at least 3 or 4 times. And Florence Pugh is an insane actor playing Yelena Belova, Black Widow's sister, Natasha Romanoff, and then Alexei from Stranger Things. I'm forgetting his name. David Harbour. Him being it was awesome. I don't like how they adapted Taskmaster. That was one problem I had with it. But other than that, I'd say it was pretty good. The CGI was spotty at sometimes, but it didn't take me out of the immersion. Next, I have Eternals, probably in my sixth spot, because it was a new like story. Every character was new, but I do like how they adapted it, and it just felt richer, more eternal, you could say. I'm supposed to say that. I did like the characters, but if I never see them again on the big screen, I wouldn't be crying over it, you know? I wouldn't be going crazy. I've had like 7 out of 10. Next one, I have Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I highly was going into it because I saw some leaks about Professor X coming back, Joseph Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. So I was interested. I do have some flaws, but overall I'd say it was a decent movie because Sam Raimi, he doesn't miss really any time in any of his movies. So I'd say it was like a 7 out of 10. So next one I got The Marvels. It was good. I can't lie. I do like how they adapted the three women with their powers, and like they all adapted with their powers. So I did like that. But overall, it was an alright movie. I can't lie. The next one I think is Thor: Love and Thunder. I saw that with my family in the theaters, and it was alright. I can't lie. It was definition of mid. The last one of Phase 4 is Ant-Man 3, Quantum Mania. It was interesting. I don't know why they brought Kang in and made him lose in his first movie, which was stupid. Because, what are you gonna do? It didn't work. It wasn't gonna work out anyways because the actor kind of got arrested. So they scrapped that whole storyline. So that's where I have Phase 4. We'll pause on Phase 5 because there's only like 5 movies, and we'll talk about the shows. We'll speed run the shows. For shows, I have Loki Season 1 as my 1 spot of all time Marvel shows, and then Loki Season 2 right after, because those 2 shows are on another level than every other Marvel show. I can't fathom how they made those shows with Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston. Everyone was in that show. It was insane, and I liked how they adapted Loki's storyline. He's a variant, but he still acts like the real Loki, which I loved. My 3 spot, I have Moon Knight. I do like Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. It was peak. I can't lie. I don't like how he kept switching out of action scenes, which that was one flaw I had with it. But overall, it was a pretty good show, and I hope they make a second season with Oscar Isaac, but it's highly unlikely. My next show I have is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now that's a show I love. It's like on totally different side of the coin of Loki. action, serious, but also funny with the Bucky as the Winter Soldier, Falcon, Sam Wilson getting the shield. I can't trying to get the shield back from John Walker. John Walker is probably one of my favorite characters they brought in from shows, so that's why I have it in my fourth spot. Fifth, I have Hawkeye. It was like November of like 2023. It came out, so and it was like almost Christmas time, so I watched that every week with my family. It was pretty good. I can't. It was alright. It was alright. I do like how they brought in Wilson Fisk. I can't. He was cool. He was crazy in the finale. Seventh, I have What If. I think they should have ended it at season two, which they just kept adapting weird. Like, what if Professor Pig or Professor X can walk? Come up with something new. But overall, it was a decent show. Next, I have WandaVision. That was like the first Disney Plus show. I do like how they adapted the eras. That was really cool. And the whole twist at the end where Vision was already dead and he never came back to life. I did like that. But it was like a 6 out of 10. I can't lie. The next I have is Ironheart. Like, came out recently, like a month or two ago. It was good. I can't lie. It was good. Nothing crazy, I have to say. I'd say I want to switch this up. Around in the eighth spot, I'd probably go Daredevil Born Again. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks way better than Ironheart. I can't lie. Ninth, I have She Hulk. It was alright. I didn't. I There wasn't anything crazy. I can't go crazy about it, but it was alright. 10th, I have Miss Marvel. It was alright. Nothing crazy. It was good. On to phase 5. We're on the home stretch, everyone. In the number one spot, I went to see this with my brother in theaters. It was Thunderbolts. I love that group of bad guys or antagonists. I love yelling as the main character and the main focus on mental illnesses. I love that. John Walker's insane in it. Alexei as the Red Guardian's awesome in it. Who was Polton as the Void guy? Sentry. He was awesome in it. Everyone in that movie was awesome. Bucky's in it. That's why I have that at my one spot over Fantastic Four that came out recently. Fantastic Four was good. It could have been better though. You know? Next, I have Deadpool and Wolverine. I went to see that with my mother and my brother. My mother was not happy after the movie, but it was still good. I liked it. Some jokes didn't land, but overall, it was a good show. Good movie to see in theaters. Lastly, I have Captain America: The Brave New World. You can tell in the movie when there was reshoots, so it kind of felt choppy sometimes, but the action scenes were good. Red Hulk was good. I'd give that like a 7 out of 10, I'd say. And that's pretty much it right now. Most new shows are coming out soon enough. Secret War is coming out. So, I'll make some videos before that happens. I hope you like and subscribe. Peace.